everybody and welcome back to Naturally Fueled. Today I wanted to talk all about my move to America as a type 1 diabetic. So I go on about this a lot, but I moved to America in December. I'm still here right now and I wanted to explain what I brought over with me, what I was allowed to bring over with me, and what is available to me here at the moment, medical supplies wise. So I want to explain this because I know that a lot of Irish people go on the year-long visa that I'm on at the moment, or J1 visa, which is for the summer. So I wanted to explain this because I know it can be a little bit daunting if you're a type 1 diabetic because you don't know any of this information really. There were 4 things that I made sure to get before making the move. And the first one was this travel kit. It's by a brand called Frio and it literally fits everything. It fit a year's supply of insulin for me. So I put in 10 little boxes of the NovoRapid and 10 boxes of Levemir. Each box has 5 cartridges. So that lasts me a year because a cartridge lasts me an entire month. Obviously people's requirements are different and there was so much room to spare as well. So I put all of that in here in like the main part. And then you've got like the front part where you can put some needles or your glucose monitor strips or your glucose monitor. And then you even have like this little part at the back, which is where I put my doctor's note. Which brings me on to the second thing that I made sure to get, which was a doctor's note. I didn't have any issue bringing this on. No one asked me any questions, but I do think it's so important just to get a doctor's note just in case. It's really easy. I just asked my GP for one and she wrote me out one, signed it. It just says, this to certify that Josie has diabetes and is celiac. She needs to carry her medication, needles and syringes in her hand luggage and also in her main luggage. And then she signed it off and that was it. Because even when I'm traveling within the country, I just feel safer. Like it's just a little bit stress-free when you have this because you just know you're not going to run into any trouble. The third thing I made sure to get was, again, Frio, this little cooler bag because the summers here are so much hotter than in Ireland, obviously. And my insulin just goes stale straight away in warm temperatures. So this little cooler bag is so handy to have. It just keeps it fresh, keeps it cool. And I would definitely recommend getting your hands on one of these just to bring around with you. I literally just use it for the summer months, but it's so worth it. And then the fourth thing is all of my supplies, everything. I brought over with me at least 6 months supplies. How I did that was I told my GP that I was going on this year-long visa. So she wrote me out a 6-month prescription at the end of November, and then she post-dated it for at the end of April. So then I had another 6 months at the end of April. And luckily my mom and dad were visiting me then, so they were able to bring over another 6 months worth of supplies then, which is very fortunate for me. But this bag does fit a year-long supplies of insulin. What I made sure to have was, as I said before, 10 packs of Levemir, 10 packs of NovoRapid, which is 5 vials each. Then I think I brought over at probably about 20 of these little Contour Next strips. I use the Contour Next meter, it's my favorite one. And how I made sure to be as efficient as possible with space, I put in 2 packets of strips in the one packet, if you get what I mean. So basically they half fill these packets. They have 50 strips in them and the packet itself can fit 100. So I double up and I put 100 strips in the one packet. So I would go through about 2.5 packets of these a month. So that did last me like quite a long amount of time, but I was running short by the time my mum came over with the next 6 months supply for me. But that actually isn't really much of a problem over here if you do run short because you can get them over the counter. Walmart sell them for, they actually sell packets of 70 strips for $25. I think it's like $25.50 or something like that. And you can also get them online. There's a website called, I think it's called Outrageous or pronounced Outrageous, I'm not sure. but you can actually get 2 packets for $20 on that website. So I recommend, if you do find yourself running short and you're on that meter, to look into those websites or just go to Walmart and you'll be able to sort yourself out with something. It's no big deal if you do run short. I literally just brought so many extras of everything. I went to my diabetes clinic meeting before leaving and they gave me 2 spare pens. So I have 3 sets of these pens, 1 red for daytime, 1 blue for nighttime. I have 3 of these Contour Next meters and then 1 of the One Touch. I don't really like the One Touch meter. I mean, if I'm very strung out, I'll use it. But these are my favorite ones to use. And one of them actually did break, so it is important to make sure you just have an excess of everything. So then I packed my normal case to bring over in my handbag, and then with all of the other extra stuff, I put it all in this bag and then put that in a big tote bag. And the airline that I went with, Delta, allowed me to bring that tote bag on as an extra carry-on free of charge, because I showed them my doctor's note and said it was for medical reasons. And if you look into it, the majority of airlines will allow you to do this. So that is definitely something I would recommend looking into and asking about. If it's not on their website, ask, because I mean, it's very poor form if they don't let you do that. So another point to note, which I'm sure a lot of you already know, is to make sure that you don't pack your insulin in your big luggage that you're going to put underneath the plane, because the temperature drops very, very cold underneath the plane and this can freeze your insulin and damage it. So that's why I put it all in this bag and I carried it on with me. Make sure to just keep it as your carry-on and don't put it underneath the plane, because that could just ruin your whole year's supply of insulin. And then once I moved over here and I was settled in, I started looking into like community groups, which there are actually quite a lot of over here. There isn't really in Ireland, or as far as I know, I haven't seen any, but over here there's a group called JD/F, type 1 diabetes related group, and they have like little meetings throughout the year. And it's really nice to be a part of because you meet a lot of people. It's a very large type 1 diabetic community. And I actually went to one of their meetings just for educating myself for my blog. But it was a really nice day out to go to. They had all these different talks on about like carbohydrate counting, and they provided you with lunch and had all like the carb counts there. It was really nice. So I would really recommend looking into JD/F if you move over here, because it's a great way of making friends with other type 1 diabetics and things like that. If you're moving over on your own and you feel a bit lonely, you don't know where to begin making friends, definitely look into that. And it's a good way as well just to get advice. I think the best way of dealing with your type 1 diabetes, or like learning about it, is from asking others who have it, because it's hard to find people that understand as well as another person who is type 1 diabetic, if you know what I mean. The one that is relevant to me is the JD/F New England one, because I'm based in Boston, but they're all over the country, so definitely look into that. And they have like little walks and like even little drink evenings and things like that. It's really nice. And then lastly, this is kind of irrelevant, but like a point to note is that there are low carb alternatives and sugar-free alternatives to everything over here. So just don't worry about that. In every single coffee shop, there's Splenda, there's sugar-free syrups, there's carb-free pizzas. There's like, it's just, the options are endless over here. Like there's so many more in comparison to Ireland. So that's just another great perk of moving to America. So basically that's everything that I wanted to explain. I just wanted to keep it short and sweet, just to show that it is definitely possible to do, and you shouldn't be afraid of making the move just because you're a type 1 diabetic and you don't know if you'll have the supplies over here or if it's possible to bring the supplies over with you. It is, and I would definitely recommend doing it because it's one of the best experiences you'll have. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.